The last time I encountered Jamie Oliver was about 8 years ago in one of his Italian chain restaurants in Oxford, but after nearly a decade, he's finally hunted me down and invaded my local supermarket freezer. £7.29 a kilo when these aren't on sale. It's certainly next level pricing for frozen fries, so let's hope the flavor matches. Way crispier than they looked like they'd be, which is a pleasant surprise. Seems like the beef fat they're coated in does its job, even if the color remains a bit light. And the vinegar they come pre-seasoned with isn't like a splash on top, it's in the background. Alright, let's do a dip test. A lot less crispy than the other one, but the potato was still tender, and you can still taste the rich flavor of them through a sauce. Have to say they are not on a level above all of their frozen beef dripping chip competition though. The only real standout element is that they're thinner cut than most offerings that have this kind of coating. Jamie's known for his Italian cooking, so let's have the lasagna as our first main. I think the curse of frozen foods is that their texture gets messed with a bit. Tasting the ragu on its own, the pulled beef comes off as sort of ropey, separate wispy strands that don't break apart when you chew them. Tomato isn't dominant like I'd expected, instead I've got sweet carrot in my face. The cheddar in the bechamel is nice and sharp. I'd say that's the most premium tasting element, and unfortunately, any depth of flavor I could detect in the sauce is totally blown out by this nice touch. Hard to go wrong with a frozen curry. I must have had dozens of different ones over the years. Did you seriously think I was gonna have this without rice? Definitely has that microwaved chicken texture thing going on for obvious reasons, but it's not dry at all. As advertised, the breast has definitely been marinated. What they don't warn you about though is that the marinade is made with some indistinct, almost medicinal spice blend. It has the sweetness of the very cheapest of frozen orange goo curries, which I'll tolerate for 85p from Stamford Street, but not from a premium brand. The spices are indistinct and muddled. Maybe they're just too weak, and there's a real acidity to it. It's just too sharp. I'll give it one more shot altogether with rice. What am I doing? Let's try this again. This is absolutely not for me. If I'm being generous, I'll say it's more interesting than the very cheapest options, but it is blown out of the water by any other premium frozen curry I've had, and they normally come with rice. I have somehow never actually had moussaka before, so this will be a real adventure for me. That's really good. Texture of the meat's great, lamb flavor's great, spice blend is balanced and rich, with cinnamon and mint coming in on top. If this is how it's supposed to taste, I like moussaka. Bit of a dinky bite because things were falling apart and I have to come in at an awkward angle. But yeah, alright. It's creamy, you can still taste some spices. Potato texture's a little bit weird, maybe grainy, crumbly. It's still pretty good, but when you have it all together, the creamy sauce primarily acts to dilute the spices on the lamb I loved. But wait a second, I think I'm missing something. When I served up, I totally dodged all of the eggplant. Mushy, smushy, leaves an oiliness in your mouth. Strong eggplant flavor. It's eggplant. For the final dish, we're full circle back to beef as our protein. I was expecting chunks of beef this time, but it's the lasagna situation again. Because there's so much liquid and because you get a bigger bundle of beef, the effect isn't as bad. There is a nice initial tender bite, but after you chew it for a second, it does get that ropiness. Another similarity to the lasagna's ragu is that the carrot is shockingly sweet for some reason. And I get that it's a bourguignon, but the red wine here is too much. They're covering for a lack of richness. You got a beef stew? Even if it's a fancy French beef stew, you need some bread. Nice enough on the mop test. The bread helps cut the red wine intensity. If I'm going to say something sort of nice, give it a backhanded compliment, it does have a little bit of a homemade vibe to it. You could probably convince someone you made this yourself. Well, that's all for now. Have you tried these? Would you at these prices? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Super Yummy Munchie Cat.